Well, good morning, humanity. It is January 23rd, 2023. And again, it is the favorite time of our week because it's Mondays with Bev and Paul. And hi, everybody. My name is Paul.
Good morning. This is Bev. Hi.
Hello, Bev.
Hi, Paul.
I always wondered, why do we keep saying our name every week? And I'm like, well, every news guy says their name every week, every night. So,
And it's just a nice way to start. And I think we're always having new people
that's
join
right.
in.
So let us know who you are out there. Put a little comment there. Let us see your name and share this with your name friends. And if you have any questions about anything that we're ever talking about, please let us know because today we're going to talk about BioTouch as an act of sympathy. Oh my gosh. I think we're going to have fun with this one. So
Yeah.
I read this little quote. It went, if you knew the pain of a tree, an animal, or anything in existence as you know the pain in your own body, you would keep everything well.
Whoa, that's powerful.
I think so. That's why I
That
thought, well, let's talk about that.
Let's talk about that. So many things come up for me when you read that. I'm like, whoa. Well, this is what's one of BioTouch's main things. Love thy neighbor as thyself.
Right,
Do unto others as you would yourself.
right.
These are just mandates that we've been given by the great ones over millenniums. And, you know, I think it's time that we really started contemplating what that means. That quote you just said really sums it up.
Yeah,
This
exactly.
is what the whole show's about, sympathizing
Right.
with
And so,
another living being.
right, as you would the pain in your own body. And I was thinking, everybody has a pain.
Yeah.
I mean, we're a pain in our butt to ourselves.
I'm a pain.
Right. I'm a jerk and a pain. So,
Okay.
so
Yeah.
I thought, well, so we all have that pain, so we know that feeling. So I looked up the word sympathy, and it took me to our manual, so sympathy means you can understand what the person is feeling, right? And compassion is the willingness to relieve the suffering of another.
Wow.
And so that took me right to our manual because in our manual we say everyone, because of their inherent love and compassion for those who are suffering, can perform these methods without limitation. Oh my
Oh
gosh.
man,
Right there. I
I
mean,
know. Profound. Here's the one more step, one more amazing gift that BioTouch offers. It's not when you practice BioTouch with someone else, you are not just sympathizing and feeling and being in resonance with that person. That compassion is retro. It comes to us as well.
yeah.
That's what real love is. That as much as we can comprehend what love is at this stage, but the compassion that you feel for another human being is comes back to you. You get it as well.
Right. And so what's interesting to me is how sympathy is the feeling, compassion is the act. And as we say in our manual, it's inherent in us. You don't have to
Yes.
go get it. You don't have to develop it. And that's what we love about BioTouch as the act of sympathy, which is compassion. It's already in us. We don't have
Yeah.
to train people to be compassionate.
Right. Exactly. It's kind of like, oh, I'm striving to be perfect. Well,
Right.
in the real world, we're all that. We've just been covered up a lot with stuff.
Right.
So we had talked before the show about what I really believe BioTouch is here to do is to become a transitional way to take us. Because if we really sympathize with all the other life forms on this planet, we're talking about the animals, the vegetables, the minerals, and then there's us. Well, a lot of people understand that we're bridging and between the animal part of ourselves and this amazing, beautiful, radiant angelic part of ourselves. And I've often thought that biotouch is a way, it's a bridge, something to transition from that lower to the higher. Because you and I are always talking about the unlimited possibilities that biotouch offers all of us to break through those old patterns of misery,
Right.
and of being and of thinking and of doing. And even though we say you're not doing anything with biotouch, the fact that you're reaching out and touching another human being with those two fingers, you are putting into practice love and compassion and sympathy for another life form.
Right. And that's what Gary Schwartz says in that the foreword that he wrote to the book. You know, the book Biotouch Healing with the Power in Our Fingertips by Deborah Schildhouse, still available. And in the last paragraph, he writes just what you were saying too. As you explore Deborah's gracious and grateful book, my wish is that you become filled as I did with the wonder and promise that BioTouch offers all of us, our loved ones, the greater humanity, and nature as a whole. As a whole.
That when I first read that, I thought, oh, Gary, thank you, because he really got what BioTouch, I believe, what BioTouch is here to, this great gift that it offers humanity, and through us practicing loving thy neighbor, doing unto each other as we would ourselves. When we do that, everything else, it just dribbles down to all the other kingdoms on this planet. All the other life forms are benefited.
You know, and it's interesting because I think of, you always hear about, I remember reading in the Buddhist literature once that the idea was to bring enlightenment to all sentient beings. And then it goes on, because it's like, well, you can't go knocking on everybody's door and go, excuse me, would you like to be enlightened? You know?
Yeah, exactly. I've got it.
Right. You know, and it's just like BioTouch. The recognition that if I reach out and touch just one sentient being, just one, I'm bringing, as Gary said, to all nature, as you were saying, all the levels. That's all. You know, you can't get to every animal and every human being, but by doing one person, you're creating that vibration that's helping the entire planet, all of nature, and that is powerful.
It's powerful, Paul, because we keep saying we are all connected. So all it takes is one for that rippling effect. You know, I mean, this is magical here. And we are magical. But we just, you know, like I was telling you before, we are the only species on this planet that is self-aware, self-conscious. And we talk all the time that BioTouch, one of the gifts is to encourage in each of us that journey of self-awareness.
Correct. Right.
But you have to be self-aware in order to be able to have sympathy and compassion to even want to help another living being, whatever kingdom they belong to.
And so what's nice again is you don't have to do anything to let that be expressed through you. You just need to raise those two fingers, reach out, take those two fingers, touch another human being right below the breastbone where it gets soft there, lightly like a butterfly, and take those same two fingers and touch just to the left of that big bone at the base of the neck. And it's happening. You don't have to be aware of it. It's not like some light is going to come down and explode your chakras open and your heart will expand and, you know, Ida and Pingali will move and groove and all this kind of stuff. You know, it ain't fireworks, folks. You know,
it's like gentle.
Yes, it's like when kids get it. You know, you have a little child, a little 6-year-old. You say, "Come touch Daddy. Daddy's got a headache." And they come and they're like, "Okay," and they do this and they do this, and then you show them and they do this and they go, "Okay, can I go play?"
Right.
but they were effective.
Oh,
They
absolutely.
didn't need to put the technique into their mind. They didn't need to make it something. They didn't need to figure out, oh, am I at an inch or an inch and a quarter? I had somebody once take out a ruler because it says an inch to an inch and a half, and so
Oh
they
my
took out their
God.
ruler.
Okay, this is where we go. There's an old saying, the mind is the slayer of the real. Okay, we start acting out and over analyzing, and am I doing this and am I doing that? That's not what it's called for. What it's called for is this inherent compassionate heart that looks at a brother or sister or another being and says, oh my gosh, you're suffering, I want to help.
Right.
That's all that
That's
it
all it
takes
is.
to do biotouch.
And as the quote gave, and we'll read it again, if you knew the pain of a tree, an animal, or anything in existence, as you know the pain in your own body, you would keep everything well.
Oh
So
man.
just understand that if we are suffering, which if you really wake up enough, you'll find out there's a little dark place in there that is suffering if it's not manifested in a body. But most of us wake up, there's an elbow problem, a neck problem. You know, the younger
Yep.
we are, of course, the more we just go, oh, I'm okay, especially if you're a guy. You could bang your head
Right.
into a wall and pop up and go, oh, I'm all right.
Disconnect.
I'm all right. Nothing wrong. Oh, sometimes we are so stupid, us guys. But anyhow, so by just recognizing just that little bit of pain, you understand the suffering of humanity. And you know, that's what
Oh,
I realized when I went to Egypt and went on that TV show. And people called in from all over Iraq and Iran and you know the whole Middle Eastern countries,
right.
all in a different language that they had to translate. And I realized there's one thing common on the entire planet, regardless of your language, regardless of your culture, and that is everybody's suffering. You know,
And everybody has a body.
yes. And the bodies are all the same, like
They're
Gandhi
the
said. You
same.
want to understand the oneness of humanity, look at a body. You don't have to get into a philosophical thing. Just look at a body, take the two fingers and touch that body, and all the teachings. What I always loved about BioTouch and why I got involved was it was the perfect manifestation of all these ancient teachings.
That's right. It really is,
It
isn't
was
it?
all locked up in those two
And
fingers.
there's no expectation to talk about the formulas and the guidelines and the
Right.
rules and the regulations of all that stuff. It just breaks through the stuff.
Yes.
It really does.
So
It brings us present.
we can't recommend enough. Well, yeah, we can. We've been doing it for
We can.
six
We're going to
years.
keep on doing it. We're going to keep on doing it.
6 years, every Monday morning we come on this show, you know, but we also have other ways you can learn it. You can, if this is your first time here, go to justtouch.com. Okay, there's a lot of information. I just put in a new search bar, right? Even if it's on your phone, it's like right at the top. You can
Oh,
search for any condition you want. And if we've
right.
talked about it, or if there's a workbook on it, or a video on it, just click on it, watch it, learn it. If you want just the first 10 pages for free, there's a little box on the side or at the bottom of your phone as you scroll down, and we'll send you the first 10 pages. You'll learn the greeting that we just taught. It's just that easy. If you have a question and you can't find it on the website, office@justtouch.com, and we'll get hold of you. But we also have classes, and we have this really wonderful workshop coming up Thursday, yeah, with
Yes.
Hillary Gooden, and she's at hillarygooden.com, and she's going to talk about lymphatic health. Wonderful
Boy,
woman. We are excited to have her on. We've met
such
with
an
her already.
important
Yes.
thing to talk
Yeah,
about.
and we've had
I'm excited.
lot of people
Yeah.
sign up for it already, even though it
Yay.
doesn't cost anything. But one woman
Yep.
wants to get her, if you're a massage therapist, you can get one CE credit for it.
Yep.
Okay. And then we also have a in-person training here if you're in Tucson with our wonderful Eileen Webster. That'll be live in Tucson. And if you don't live in Tucson, hey, we have an airport here. Fly on in, drive on in. Lots of Airbnbs. February 11th and 12th. 9 a.m. to 4:30 p.m. And that's in person, live and in person. So Eileen's great with that. She loves teaching. So,
yep.
So anyhow, we are asking you to put, I'm going to read it again. Sympathy means you understand what the person is feeling. Compassion is the willingness to relieve the suffering of another.
Wow.
And in our manual, everyone, because of their inherent love and compassion for those who are suffering, can perform these methods without limitation. So please understand, it's already in you. You don't have to go get it. It doesn't really cost you anything. I remember in the book, Deborah said, well, what do you mean BioTouch is the truth? And why don't you charge, she says. I said, because how can you charge people for the truth?
Yeah, right.
And our dear friend Horace just posted something about truth is true. You can't have your truth and his truth and their truth.
There's one truth.
There's one truth.
We're all becoming self-aware about it.
Yeah. So, BioTouch to me is that, because I know, Bev knows, if you've experienced it, you will know. This technique is for everyone. That makes it a truth. It doesn't have levels. It doesn't have expenses. If you're a human being, you will be effective with BioTouch. Let us know how we can help.
Please.
That was fun. Thank you, Bev.
Thank you, Paul, and everyone out there. Thank you.
Yes, thank you for letting us into your home, and we're going to play one of Horace's lovely little tunes that he's just recently written for us. Again, if you have any questions, justtouch.com or office@justtouch.com. And if we don't see you Thursday for our workshop, we'll see you next Monday.
We will. Thank you, everyone.
Bye-bye.
Days in and days out, space and time is all about feeling pressure with the pain, in sunshine or in the rain. Living is a place in mind, giving is being kind. When the pain is too much, what we need is BioTouch. When I'm touching you, you are touching me. It's a simple thing to do and a natural way to be. I know this to be true. It happens to me and you. In the middle of the day, energy just fades away. Down the line we realize we can re-energize, feeling better in the end with attention from a friend. When I'm touching you, you are touching me. It's a simple thing to do and a natural way to be.